Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On the Mic with DM.
And T.
Today, listen, I'm going on everybody today. Every goddamn body. First of all, I'm a controversial. Maybe, maybe not. Don't care. Transsexual people. Be honest with people before you get in relationships with them or deal with them, because I've been hearing stories about a lot of transsexual people getting killed recently for multiple reasons. Mm-hmm. But there's one reason that I think personally could be avoided, and that's being honest with the person that you're trying to talk to. If you are a transgender woman and you meet a guy who's heterosexual, truly heterosexual, not a fetish guy, but a guy who really wants to date you as a woman, please be honest with him. Because that will save a lot of heartache and pain on both sides, rather than say, you know what, I'm a woman, that's how I carry myself and all that. That's fine and dandy. Be who you are. But be honest. Because a lot of guys, you know, when you start investing time and effort into you and find out you're really not the woman they thought you were, that can end up in a lot of pain. Or possible death.
No one likes to be deceived. No one. And it's not even like your sexual identity, like anything. Like, let me find out in the beginning that you got another woman.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? You just have to be honest in the beginning. So now you're telling me that you couldn't even let me know, like, what you really have down there? No, dishonesty is like, it's hurtful. It's disrespectful.
I think even on top of that, it doesn't make sense. Like, you can't build a relationship of love and trust and understanding if you never approach a relationship with love, trust, and understanding.
Yep.
If you really think that person's for you, then you should feel comfortable enough being able to expose yourself. I understand it's hard. I do. I get that.
But
it's a hard mentality because of how people are trying to understand that, like, in that sense, once you pop that bubble, like, preconceived notions of like how people feel about shit and all that kind of comes to the surface. But by the same token, I would think you would want somebody who would be okay with that. So if you have to hide the fact that you're transgender to be in that relationship, then that's probably not the relationship for you.
Yeah, I would just assume that you would just move within a certain group of people who were okay with you, you know, just stating your fact. If that was a fact, like, you would move amongst people who you knew were okay dating within the trans community. That's just what I would assume. Come on. Why are you going outside of the community and then trying to, you know, hey, I got this hard thing to kind of sort of, you know, let you know that even though you haven't really dealt with anyone like this before, probably, you know, I'm kind of trying to be the first. I'm really not what you thought that I was. Why are you doing all of that? There's dating apps for every type of person nowadays.
It's true.
I mean, just get in where you fit in. What's wrong with that?
I don't know. But they are out there saying, you know, people not looking at us the way as we feel and as we should be. And again, I have no problem with who you are. But if you know this guy is a heterosexual guy, and again, I say it's a guy that like a fetish. We used to call it, excuse this expression, chicks with dicks.
Okay.
And there's people that love that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But if I come to you saying, listen, I'm looking for a woman, and I'm telling you this, I want to have a baby, you know you can't have a baby.
Uh-huh.
So why the fuck do you say, you know what, I need to end this farce, not for you, but for this guy, I'm not who you think I am. And then him decide. Now, if this guy goes, oh, you know what, you may hear something, because he's like, why did you even do this without telling me this fact? You got to deal with that. That comes with the territory.
Right.
But don't play games with people talking about he doesn't know because when we have sex, you know, he never see with no clothes on, and I'm always doing, you know, anal oral, so he don't really know. Wow. At some point,
a lot. I
yes.
mean, but the honest.
You know, that's a lot. I mean, I know guys ain't gonna tell you like, oh, you gonna give me, I'll go with that. But at some point, they gonna be like, look, I gotta check the yin yang out. What the hell going on?
True that.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
It's fact. It is being honest. It's just the frustrating part about it is that and we had this conversation coming up here. You can do whatever the fuck you want with your life. Point blank period. No cap. You want to be out here and you want to kidnap people and you want to snatch people off the block. You want to take women, take advantage of women, take advantage of men, take advantage of the government, take advantage of your auntie, because you can do all of these things. I can't tell you how to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what you're doing is right or wrong, because right or wrong, we can sit here and say it's objective, but sometimes it's just a matter of the times. What was considered right 40 years ago is not right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So right and wrong, to me, it seems to be relative based on the era that you're in. But I say all that to say, you cannot expect other people to take you in the way you expect people to take you in. They're going to take you in the way they want to take you in. Mm-hmm. And as long as you accept the fact that nobody is going to accept you for who you are outside of you, then you'll be fine. A lot of issues that people try to find acceptance in others. Like, oh, I might be transgendered, but like, I'm trying to find acceptance in my community because you're trying to actually live a regular life. Unfortunately, because of the times, you didn't sign up for that.
Absolutely.
You didn't sign up for a regular life. You signed up for a hard life. You signed up for a life where people are going to treat you less than. You signed up for a life where people are going to look at you as unequal. Is it fair? No, but neither was it fair for black people for hundreds of years.
Absolutely.
Like, we were black and we were treated less than just because we were black. But the difference was between you and I, because I've heard that comparison before, transgenderism was very akin to black people being black. But that's just simply not true. I was born black. I didn't have a choice in being black. I didn't wake up one day and somebody gave me a skin picker and I got to choose.
That's true though.
You know what I mean? I was like with pretty fucking hair.
What is a skin picker? Nobody gave me a skin picker?
Yeah, no, nobody sat there with a fucking sheet.
I know what you're talking about. That was great, by the way. That was great.
It's true. No one gave me a skin picker. I got with what I got, right?
Absolutely.
And so you made a choice to make your life difficult.
I don't know if I
No. So here's what I say. It's not that like being transgender is inherently difficult, but because of the world that we're in, it comes with its inherent challenges.
Yes, it does.
Natural.
Absolutely.
Just being transgender comes with its natural challenges.
Yeah.
But when you decided that to live my life the best way that I know how, to feel the most comfortable in the skin that I'm in, I prefer to be a different gender.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But that comes with a set of challenges.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're a woman, you can't do things men do.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go outside at 12 o'clock at night on a run.
No.
Just for the fuck of it.
I mean, you can try.
You can
Oh,
try.
you can try it. You can try anything you want.
But, you know,
You will feel some type of way.
way.
Exactly. The ending's going to be completely different
Yeah.
every time. As a guy, I can sit there and say, like, oh man, I can run at night. Yeah, cool. But it's impossible to make friends as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Men are bad at making friends. Like, we make acquaintances, we make drinking buddies, we make sports buddies, but we don't make actual, like, deep bonds with men that, like, carry 10, 15, 20, 30 years, unless it comes with acts of service between each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to have a repertoire of dealing with each other, helping each other out, for me to say, like, that's my nigga, like, he got my back.
Okay.
Whereas, like, with women, y'all, you borrow a bitch lipstick and some shit, and y'all best friends. Like, man, she let me borrow her lipstick one time, and like, now we cool. We go to concerts together all the
That's
time.
not what normally happens. It's deeper than that. Like you said, acts of service. She had my back one day. I wasn't even expecting it.
Yeah, because she gave me the lipstick that she didn't think she
And
had.
I was in a pinch. I was in a pinch. It was a date. I was like, what am I going to do? Imagine showing up to a date with your lips looking crazy.
That's
Come
true.
on.
That's
Come on.
true.
It's more than just the lipstick. She had your back in that situation.
That is very true. and you know, and that's what happens to transgender people, because they're trying to fit in wherever they're trying to fit in, but you're just going to have that backlash. It's just a fact.
Yeah, I think that's a true statement about being mindful of the challenges, because To be honest with someone doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to take you for who you are. And you gotta be okay with that.
Yes.
And you just have to be. It's just like a guy who loves anime. Like at some point you gotta tell that woman that
Yes.
you don't do all this stuff that she doing. Like you just like to sit in the house
And watch anime or like play video games
play
or whatever.
Video games. But she trying to take you out. She trying to go out to eat. She want to do brunch with you. She trying to go to the movie. She trying to be out. And you're like, no, I'm actually a homebody. Yeah, at some point, you know.
You can't extend yourself for so long
You can't.
before you start selling into who you actually are. And that's what I always say to people, like, when you're in a relationship, the first year, like, I might as well throw that motherfucker out the window.
Because it's not like...
That's not what y'all niggas is going to be.
Yeah.
That's what you are right now because shit is fun and new.
Yeah.
Wait till a year,
and
it's exciting.
Running,
Yeah.
like, you're running off that adrenaline.
Yes.
Yeah, let it all run out.
And now you gotta sit there and actually live every day.
Hold on, you got your pants on the ground? I thought you ain't get clothes out. No,
Yeah.
he done.
Damn, you need the toilet seat up again. God damn it, didn't I tell you to put the toilet seat down?
Because he's done.
And it was like, God damn, I ain't had this problem when you didn't show me all this in the beginning. But
what about the things that you don't show all up in the beginning, right? You eventually reveal exactly who you are, or it becomes revealed, right? And
Absolutely.
I choose to accept who you are and live with it and deal with it, or I choose not to.
Absolutely.
There's only two options here. But the longer you deceive me, the longer you're dishonest with me, now I can get mad. I can be totally turned off. I can be like, there's no coming back from that.
No.
Because the deception was too much. It happened for too long. To be able to rebuild trust in some of these situations, you're like, it's just not worth it.
What you just said, trust. People, she said a very good word there, trust. Does not matter, all this shit means nothing if the trust is broken.
Mm-hmm.
I heard before, trust can be lost in buckets and being back in drops. Because you don't come back that quick.
No. And so if it's somebody who, not to say it was a superficial situation, but there was no true depth to your situation. And now you're saying, okay, and it was all lies?
Oh, Jesus.
There's nothing to hold on to let the trust build back up. It's like, we might as well let this be gone in the wind.
But then in the same breath, you're like, wow, why couldn't he just accept me for me? What if you let me know in the beginning
who me was,
then
I would have considered it.
Bingo.
But I didn't even get a chance to consider it. I was deceived into thinking, just like somebody who wakes up with a woman who's got the makeup missing in the morning.
Oh,
You know what I mean? That's just deception.
I,
as a woman, I would be devastated if in the morning your man frontal was missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I would be like, what? It's going to be like your locks on the ground. What?
That's true.
Get out.
Yeah.
Leave them damn sneakers. Walk of shame.
That's true.
Could you imagine?
Oh my God.
So now all my lashes is deceit. Lies and deceit.
That's true. That is damn true. Remember that movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, when my girl said, I'm gonna tell you something. Here's my fake hair. Here's my fake teeth. Here's my fake leg. And
But wasn't that done before they did the do though?
She was about to do the do.
Yeah, but she said, before we do this, let me reveal myself.
Said the worst string of hair.
And he chose, right?
Yeah, you ran
Chose
out
to get
the door. You ran out the door so fast. She was like, don't let me hop after you.
Now, some men might have chose to stay.
They're hard to
Keep
do.
it 100.
Damn, she got no legs.
Listen, she ain't got that leg.
To block anything? All I can do is take that little
He
monkey
would have had
motherfucker right here.
a blast. There are some men that would have had a blast with that.
Yes. Yes. So it depends on who this guy is, but
Yes.
you cannot play this game because you want to not keep it real.
Yeah.
You want them to know who you are.
Yeah.
Right there, you're lying. You're not being truthful.
You're not.
Tell him who you are and let him accept it. If he accepts it, fine, Daniel. That's cool. And then you carry on. If he accepts it, you got a guy who knows who you are and accepts everything that goes on.
Yeah, whatever comes up in the relationship comes up.
Yeah, and like you said, like it's not easy. When you decide, like when you made the choice to say I'm gonna be a transgendered man, woman, whatever, it's not an easy choice. You don't come up with that just overnight.
No.
That was a years and years of battle. So now you're like, okay, I'm now this new person. Cool. You understand that, like, with the society that we're in now, it's not as accepted as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna have people just be like, "Oh yeah, you're transgender like in schools, whatever." Like, no, niggas really still feel some type of way about stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And wouldn't you want
Yes.
somebody who wants you for who you are, right? So you want somebody to accept you for who you are. So right now, what you're saying is, I am a woman, I am a man, whatever the case may be. But if you found somebody that the only way that they were ever going to talk to you is because they perceive you as being what their definition in their mind of a man or woman is, and then when you tell them that, like, I was born the opposite, but now I'm here, but I'm still a man or still a woman, I'm still who the person that you said I am, I just started something different. I started as somebody different, but from the time you've known me to now, I've always been this person. It's just that I started differently.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. But if the person automatically now is like, nah, I don't fuck with you because of that, then you actually dodged the bullet. You understand that. Like, you got lucky. You dodged the bullet that you worked with somebody who wasn't never going to accept you for who you were.
Yep.
Never, because they weren't. They would have always had an issue with it. Or imagine if they thought you were a transgender, you were a actual born male, actual born female, and then they're sitting there talking about somebody else who's transgender, like, man, look at that fucking demon over there, like, look at, and they're just trying to lie and take the children and shit like that. You're gonna feel some type of way because you're like, nigga, you talking about me.
Absolutely.
But if you didn't know you were talking about you, now you can find out. They're like, no, if this nigga ever find out, then I'm ass out.
Yeah, and you are.
Yes, you are.
You
You're
are.
done because of that mindset.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there eating my words. I done said all them bad things about your people, and the whole time these people was in my vision all night. You know
Yes.
how it makes people feel? Like, I got found out? Yeah.
Yes.
So now that person feeling found out, oh, now they really mad. They really.
They are.
So I can't feel like this in privacy because they only said those things so they felt like that party wasn't represented, right?
Oh yeah.
They only said it that loud because they felt like they weren't there.
You said something that's true. Imagine how many black people pass as white and sit around white people and heard them say things about them.
Yep, ate it all.
And now they know, oh, this is really how they feel.
Yep.
And you have to now hold that close to you and know that, damn, this I know, I'm with them. I know this is how they feel.
Yep.
And you just gotta deal with it. Just
I
like
have a
the
friend
trans-
who says that he only speaks in his Caucasian, like, I don't want to say tone,
Oh yeah.
Style.
Linguistics. Yeah.
on the video game. Right? On the online.
On a headset.
Yeah, on the headset. He said, no, I know exactly how they feel about us, right?
Oh yeah. Because when you go in there, you're like, hey guys, how's everything going? And you sit down and the game starts up and you're like, oh my gosh, guys, this is such bullcrap. Like, I cannot believe that they actually did us like that. Did you see that?
See?
Oh my god, did you see that?
See? Mm-hmm.
You sound just like that, then you get to know that every at that point, oh, we all white. Nigga this, nigga that. Fucking nigga, I ain't never seen a nigga jigaboo. Nigga this, nigga who? Like, it just,
Nigga what? Oh,
right.
what?
Yeah,
So you
everybody.
know, as a black person, you know that, like, if they think I'm black, you immediately get all types of niggas, bitches. Women, they get it just as bad. You hop on a comment, you sound like a woman? Oh my god, you sound sexy as a motherfucker. What's your name? Let me get your number. Nigga, no! She's just trying to play a game like we playing the game, bro. Leave her
The
alone.
thirst gets real.
Yeah, on the
They're like, oh, women in my space, let me holler at her. I have a girl who games on us. She straight up, without fail, can turn her voice into a man. Because she has to.
Wow.
Because if you don't, like, you just get harassed. I've been in lobbies with her just instant they heard her and sound like a woman. Like, damn, you sound sexy as a motherfucker. Like, let me see your titties. One nigga was like,
That's honest. He was
no
being honest.
cap. She's like, she was talking to me, so, you know, we were having a conversation or whatever. And we load up into a lobby, and the guy hears like us all talking, and he's like, "Damn, you sound fine, girl. I'm hold on. Let me send you a message right quick." She's like, "What, did you really send me a dick? Like that doesn't look good? Like, tell me about it. Like, tell your boy." I'm like, "Nigga, you are fucking weird, bro." But that unfortunately, though it's fucked up, that's how women. That's the harassment that they experience at all times being a woman in a gaming space.
It's nothing like, a little dick pic.
Without fail, just a little, like, oh, you sound sexy, let me size you my penis. Like, that doesn't make any sense. The correlation doesn't match. Just because she sounds attractive, you think the first thing she wants to see is your penis? How about maybe your name?
Oh.
How about maybe like, hey, you sound really
probably
cool.
More exciting. We were gaming all night.
like the moment she saw your penis, she was gonna be like, "Oh my god, he's so attractive. Let me go ahead and game." No, now you're just a weird ass nigga. Yes.
Bingo.
So as a black guy, you realize that you just gotta listen. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're like, "No, let me see what these people gonna say." So you come in with this kind of voice, so you just kind of you go through the conversation, and you sound right. Like, guys, can you believe this? Like, I can't tell you every time. So like when Trump was a president, we ended up in a lobby for Call of Duty, and I was like, guys, watch, because everybody I game with is white, so they know I'm black.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up in a lobby where the one guy's name was like Trump 2024.
Oh,
the other guy's name was like God bless Trump type shit. So we hopped in and I was like, my fellow comrades, our top tier president, he is being impeccable, isn't he? They're like, yes, my brother, 2024, fuck those niggers. I'm like, yes, fuck niggers. Yes.
God
That's the
damn.
type of shit that because I know that like the other side of that is me fighting for my life now for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
I gotta sit here and feel every negative black stereotype when I know that I got 2 degrees and I can work circles around all you niggas.
Yep.
When I know I got 2 degrees, can lift more weight than you, can bench more than you, got more money in my pocket than you, would fuck more bitches than you, would nut on your mama's face instantly. Just because I wanted to. I can do that shit. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, as a nigga, you really gotta be like, I gotta talk my shit.
Yes.
I gotta talk my shit. Because at the end of the day, I can sit here and let this white man talk down to me, or I can show him like, look, you can't hold a candle to me. Mm-hmm. But what do I gain from that? Nothing. I'm arguing. I'm not spending the last 2 hours of my night arguing with a random ass nigga who I'll never see in life. Absolutely. Or I can just pretend to be white and let him think I'm black or think I'm white, and then we just talk about shit where I know that this is a joke to me, and this is serious to you.
Well, he's really revealing.
He's revealing himself to me, not realizing that that's what I am. So now I can sit there and go like, all right, cool. And when we finish, I'm like, yeah, I've been black this whole time, and I got a chance to just know that you a racist ass nigga, and I got your shit on recorded, and we sent that shit to Xbox.
Bingo.
So now when I get a message from Xbox saying, hey, we went through with your report, now I know your ass got suspended for at least a month.
That's how you get it.
That's how you get your ass back. That's the trade-off. Mm-hmm. But I had to lie because I know telling the truth would have been way more difficult. And that's why I was like, I understand the hesitance that like transgender people feel with being honest with who you are. Because it comes with that level of harassment that sometimes you just don't want to deal with. Yeah. You just don't want to be harassed. You just want to be who you are without if I tell you I was born a guy and I transitioned to a woman, now I gotta explain, somebody's gonna ask you like, why did you do that? Like, how long did it take? If they're genuinely interested, but that's a conversation that you really don't want to have every 5 seconds.
Absolutely.
Or you get the person who's gonna treat you like shit because that, and you're like, damn, I was just cooling today. Now I gotta sit here and not feel bad because now niggas out here calling me all types of shit on my name. Yeah, right. Exactly. Trying to kill my fucking vibe and shit.
Yeah.
So
they are.
Yeah.
There are definitely people out there purposely, with intention, trying to kill your vibe.
On a consistent basis.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to do, and I mean, they miserable and ain't got no life. So y'all have to be mindful of those types of people also.
You have to be.
Right.
Because they have nothing else in their life but to make you feel bad because they're shit.
Yeah, the misery seekers.
Exactly. And that also goes back to this discussion. you heard about the what's her name?
Hilarious.
Hilarious in
Uh-huh.
transgender.
Yeah.
Transgender again. No disrespect. You can't say you're better than a woman or you're evolution of a woman because you are now doing women who are born women a disservice. Don't care what you feel like, but what you can't do is say that a woman, right, like you, T, you're gonna have 3 babies,
Mm-hmm.
and a person who was born a man and got transitioned to a woman is trying to say that they're the evolution of women, that they are better than, or
Oh, they're the evolved, they the 2.0 version of the woman.
Yes.
Ain't that something?
yes,
You say push out 2 babies. Same day. Let's go with it. Like
Yes.
all the men. Yeah.
So
If you ain't doing that, then we ain't talking about it.
Hello. So
you want 2.0, you better do it all the way. Yeah,
Thank
then you just sit in the back and, you aspire to be something that, looks great to you. And give proper respect. That's it, that's all.
yes,
Because that's a bizarre concept that I aspire to be, a singer. Right?
mm-hmm.
But I'm not a singer. But I'm pretend like I'm better than the singers. How? No, you're still just aspiring to.
Exactly. So
No, what it's like is if you decide you want to be a fucking singer, run out of concert hall, send out fucking advertisements, sold tickets, got my motherfucking stage and said, nigga, I don't know nothing. Their song in my motherfucking ears. You started to sing talking about we shall overcome. They gonna throw fucking trash at your shit and they gonna bring you off the stage. Like, yeah, that's cool to think and have those aspirations, but like, we gotta be realistic. There's some caveats along with that mentality. There was a couple of different articles, but I remember seeing one post on TikTok the other day, and it was transgender male, and that's just breaking down how much harder it is to be a man in society than it is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
They move the exact same way as they did when they were women, but as men, and they're hard to find friends.
Hold
People
on, they
just-
were women?
Were women are now men.
But now a man.
Yes.
And they wanted to talk about...
How living as a man is more difficult than living as a
I'm
woman.
about to drop the mic. I'm going to drop the mic. You ever saw the statue with the man holding the world on his shoulders? I mean, who wants to be a man in real life? What?
So,
Crazy
yeah.
concept
So
ever.
yo found out very difficult. They were like, oh, it's impossible to make friends. Like, people don't ever want to listen to you. Like other men just shun you away. Like, nobody wants to ever really talk to you.
Nobody holds the door for
Nobody
you.
holds the door for you. Nobody wants to engage in actual healthy conversation.
Yeah.
Like, if I have a disagreement with another man, he's ready to fight. And it's like, I'm
And
constantly
they not
fighting for
ready
my
to
life.
fight for that.
Right. And it's like, yeah, because I think the bigger conversation is like, is gender just what's between your legs, or is gender the societal construct around what's between your legs?
Yeah, it's both.
Because
Yes.
depending on what you look at it, because like you said, I think it's both as well.
Yeah.
That it's not only what you have between your legs, but it's also how the world around you interacts with you as an individual. If somebody looks at a guy and you recognize visually to you that match as a man, I'm treating you differently than I would if I matched somebody as a woman.
Yeah,
It's
I
a whole
gauge you
different
as being stronger. I gauge you as being, from a woman's perspective, I gauge you as being stronger, more of a threat. If there's a problem, I'm running to you, the man, who I identified as a man. I'm not going to run to the woman who I identified in the room as a woman. I'm not going to her first. There's a threat, I'm going to the big, strong man. Y'all can be the same size, too. How about that? But I'm going to still go to the man. Because I perceive him to be something that the woman is not. Even the way he's going to think through the situation. Now, I want a man to handle this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that it gets twisted because, again, they think it's just a gender. If I change my gender and then I'll get this respect or I'll get this particular. No, it's more than that. Because how many guys who are real guys that act more like a woman? Women don't find that sexy. Like, man, he's real soft. Even though he's a man, he carries himself as a man. He's born a man. He's a man, but he just acts a little more sweeter.
Like
Jesus Christ, I think I said sweeter. More feminine. And
Yeah, more
And
feminine.
he's still a man who
He's still a man.
He still likes women. He still likes women, but in terms of like, oh, like he might have really long nails, or like he's very
metrosexual.
yeah, or very
Yes.
feminine
Right.
in his mannerisms. Like he might cross his legs, type
Yeah.
shit. Like so, like he might cross his legs like how
When
yours
he gets
is.
a regular man, he petty,
Yes.
but he keeps his nails real long.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he also carry himself in such a way that
Yeah.
he's I use the term
There you
sweeter.
go. Nah,
Not sweeter, but
metrosexual. We just gonna go with that. Yeah.
metrosexual.
Yeah.
So, in a woman, you would look at that guy differently rather than a guy that was working construction and you just look, you know,
Mhm.
you don't give a fuck. You just look that way.
I mean, but everybody does. Like if you look at a woman who's like real pretty and she's like flawless skin
Mhm.
and she got like nice manicured nails and shit like that. You're not gonna make her carry shit.
No,
You see her like, nah, baby, I got you.
I got you.
You see a girl who's
Oh,
like
my.
kind of run down, hair might not be done. She carried a big box, like she be alright.
That's
She
true.
be alright.
That's true.
I'm so serious as a guy that's the thought of the
She
story.
been struggling, so why?
Right. She be alright. She been doing this.
Yeah.
She about that life. But you see a pretty girl, you're like, nah,
Yeah.
she shouldn't be out here carrying all that heavy shit. Excuse me, miss, I got you. What you
Yeah.
mean?
There you
I
go.
need for you to carry this box.
Just like when you see like an older woman
That's true.
or older man. Like if you see an older person on the street, you see like
Mhm.
somebody who's in their like 80s or 60s, 70s, 80s, and you see them like go to a door and then like you can see like the movements there. Like,
Mhm.
oh man, they are really older. Like, I might stop.
Mhm.
Like, hold on, let me get the door for you type shit. Let me like, hey, you need some help getting that off the top shelf? I got you.
But even like age, right?
Yeah.
The environment predicts how old you are. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Your environment, just like how the environment tells you what gender you are, the environment tells you, I'm gonna tell you if you're old or not. No, I'm gonna run and grab that door. Oh no. Or if you're fine or not, let me run.
There you
Now, I
go.
might just grab the door if we're going, right?
Mhm.
Because of your age, like, okay, you'll be fine, but I don't gotta run to it. But if you're an older person, you're gonna see the environment around you, they're gonna move a little bit, they're gonna hustle, make sure you a little more taken care of with people out there.
That is so
Yeah.
true. Very true. And that's society. I mean, so you know,
And so that's why it's like you're going against this. That's where the challenges come from, because you're going against what society has already defined as whatever it is, and you just have to be okay with what you rocking on the side of.
there you go.
Like you signed up for a little bit higher challenge situation.
That's
Just to word it properly to not offend anyone, right?
Mhm.
But you do still need to be honest in your approach, especially if you're looking for a solid person to grow with, a solid person to actually engage in a relationship that's going to thrive at some point. You cannot build that on, dishonesty.
No, you can't. And I'm gonna say this because I've heard this in the news too, where everybody's talking, oh, transsexual hurting the kids and all this stuff. Let me say this to you fools out there: it's not the transsexuals that's fucking your kids. It's the pastors, the priests, the churches,
The
the
congressman.
congressmen, the teachers. When they do a pedophile run,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see many transgender, if any. I see a lot of motherfucking pastors and preachers and teachers and congressmen and.
So
and
are you saying that if you go on the database search, that's what you're saying, that you're not going to see a transgender community represented there? You're going to see your high officials represented there?
Exactly.
Okay.
They're running
Just for
fucking-
clarification's sake.
I got
Like,
to
we're not
clarify.
anti this group at
No,
all.
at all.
We just want people to be honest.
Be fucking honest.
Yeah, but let's also not make that correlation between the children.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you have lawyers on TV every fucking day talking about you got touched by a priest
Mm-hmm.
in the past 60, 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
And no church is untouched. In Baltimore, they say no church and no schools untouched. And we're like, oh, if I went to the St. Margaret's, whatever, they were good. But the other ones, no.
All of them.
All of them.
Wow.
They go back 70 years, and most of these motherfucking priests are dead.
Remember Dateline?
Yes.
Who was that man?
How to Catch a Predator?
How to Catch a Predator. Yeah, no, he revealed a lot of people in the community.
It wasn't some dude behind the
No.
thing with a chest molester with moon.
No, it's literally like the same guys that you would see at the school functions.
I'm about to
Same-
say, yeah. They worked at the school.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
the
kid
rabbis.
counselors, they're
Yeah.
fucking like
Yeah.
headmasters,
Yeah.
math teachers, English
Yep.
teachers. Like, it was people that you see every day. Like, what was it recently? There was somebody of note that got caught, and they were like or maybe I'm just misremembering. But the guy was like he worked for the police.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
To-
my mom just mentioned that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for the police and was caught up in that shit. It's like
Yep.
the people that they say to be worried about are probably not the niggas you need to worry about. It's always gonna be the niggas that they don't address. Like, the person who's gonna screw you out of your taxes ain't gonna be just a Jewish guy. It's gonna be the guy who has access to your money.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Absolutely.
It's not, oh man, if I put my money in a black bank, I'm good. No, the black bank gonna hold you just as much as the Jewish bank gonna hold you, nigga. Like, anybody who's controlling your money is gonna hold you. So you gotta be on control of your money.
Exactly.
Like, just like the rhetoric that's utilized to disparage transgenders, to say that like, oh, they're coming for our kids. I have a friend of mine who said that to me the other day. I couldn't fight him on it. He's Christian, and I just chalked up to religious. Like, I'm not gonna win it. I'm not necessarily gonna win, but we're not gonna have an actual productive conversation, because who you are and your ethos and like the things that you believe in all make that idea make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes sense to me when you think that way. So I can't, like, it doesn't, I'm not going to change your mind because I know all the things that back it up. I would have to tackle all those other things first
Right.
for this thing to break down.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's too much work. I'm just going to let you just be you. And there's a lot of people who just like, oh, based on my belief system, like, black people are very much against gays in a lot of scenarios. It's very hard for black children to be gay. Like,
Yeah.
generations ahead of us don't fuck with that shit. And like, even our generation now is still trying to find their voices. And like, I'm hoping that when we become parents, our generation, it's a little bit easier for black kids to come out to their black parents and say, hey, mom, dad, I love somebody who looks just like me, and actually get acceptance. Has not always been the case. It's not ever. But we're trying to shift that. But that comes with time. People act like that's just going to happen overnight. You telling people, like, slavery didn't just flip. Wasn't just like, oh, y'all no longer slaves, so best of luck. And then black people just left alone to just do whatever the fuck they want.
Mm-mm.
Like, nah. White people kept saying, like, nah, fuck all that. They might not be slaves, but we gotta get them niggas. Fuck that. And so they found ways to fuck with you. Whether it was where you went to school, how you ate, where you slept, where you drank water
Your
from.
constant means to oppress.
Constant
Yes.
ways to oppress you. And even still, we have those ways. So it's like, as transgenders, like, I feel for them, but as I said before, this society isn't built for something so new. So you guys have to be, unfortunately, the guinea pigs to figure this shit out. Like, y'all got to be the ones that are the ones who are transgender now have to eat those bullets. Have to be the ones to say, we get treated like shit. But advocating for making life easier for those who come after you. Making it just a little bit easier. Ideally, when I'm y'all and you just sitting in y'all chairs, the conversation is not, oh, that's just a weird thing. It's like, oh, this is more consistent and normal. Like, there's more kids now with parents who are of the same sex than there were when y'all were kids.
Absolutely.
Right.
And like now, like how many, like in your class with your kids, all three of them probably have somebody in some of their classes who has two parents, two mothers, two fathers. Somebody.
I mean, but I just don't know.
I'm almost positive. I would say almost positively that somebody in one of your three kids' classes is
Openly has the same sex.
Yeah.
couple and
I'm almost
stuff.
positive that's the case. The only reason I say that is
And in
because
black communities?
even in black communities, I still think that's
Do
a
you think
possibility.
that that's... I don't think... I just don't
I still
know.
think it's a possibility more than it would have been when I was a kid. I think it's a higher probability for that than it was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, that wasn't even a conversation.
I think in a certain demographic. Is that fair?
So demographic of black people?
Like blacks in the hood? Like, that's what we doing?
Well, niggas in the hood doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to
I'm
be
not saying
gay.
that, but where's the black people in the hood who sent... And remember the school my kids go to?
Touche. touche.
So they couple and they all go to the same, like, predominantly black school. They all speaking French. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
It does seem weird,
There's
but
nothing there.
I guarantee it's probably
But there's probably somebody.
Yes. Yeah, but they're not that open yet. I think still. And that, like, I think still, yeah.
And
Because
that,
remember, that's Southern. My kids went to school for years on the Southern Prince George's County side. Right?
okay,
So
yeah.
it wasn't, I told you we probably got 2 white teachers in the building, right?
Oh,
We got
okay.
several, and a lot of them's African teachers because it's French immersion, right? And then there's several black men who are teachers, right?
Okay.
So it's not
Oh
the
yeah, that's
same
what I
thing.
said. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very
it's just
different.
not
Yeah.
the same
'Cause, yeah,
dynamic
that's
schools.
very
And
different.
remember, PG County's that affluent black. So even
Mhm.
though it's the southern part, a lot of them are like homeowners. So it's like it just pulls out a totally different group. I think of who we are represented. But I can see in different parts of PG County where we can start identifying groups like that. But I didn't see any. I just didn't see any.
Not surprising at all.
Yeah.
I think when the producer went to school, there were a couple of teachers that were gay. And I don't know.
Remember where y'all were at?
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember where y'all? That's why I said
That's
what about
true.
the demographics?
Yeah,
here?
the demographics were a little different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the
Absolutely.
openness is a key thing in what you said, though. I think it's really the openness of it. Where I went to school, they was happy about anything. I went to school with mostly white people, though.
Mm-hmm.
So anything pretty much flew around me. Niggas knew people who were fucking, like, many gay parents and many gay students. Like, I knew a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just, that was just my life. Like, it's just vastly different than others. But I still think, like I said, the acceptance level of it is a lot higher. Like, it seems a lot more, you're more likely to find somebody in somebody's school with a gay parent now versus before when I was a kid, where, like, if you had gay parents, niggas didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody had
I
a
can
clue.
see that.
Like,
Yeah.
you never introduced nobody to your parents, or, like,
Mhm.
you saw one parent at a time because only one parent went to the school because we're not going to blow both our spots up. So you're going to be the face parent at the school, and then I'm the one who's going to be in the background type shit. I've seen that growing up. But, like, I feel like nowadays, like, it's more accepted with quotation marks than it was before. But even the acceptance rate is so low. It's like saying, 5% to 10%. Like, it's not where it should be. I think the world as we know it is constantly shifting and constantly being dynamic and constantly evolving. But the way people's mentalities are, the way people accept things have not changed as much as the environment around them has.
That is true because in church, in the black church, the organist was gay. You know the choir man was gay. He was just as free as hell. You sit up there looking at it, and you look and say, damn, that's a little different. You look a little, flamboyant.
Metrosexual.
Yeah, a little flamboyant. But I'm telling you what fucked me up. You know the guy was gay. You knew he was gay. But the pastor will always be up there preaching about if you're homosexual, you're going to burn in hell. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Mr. Johnson, who's the organist and the choir director, is flaming and obviously gay. This man's paying money into tithes and you telling him, fuck that.
It's like him playing the Xbox, though. You just gotta play along. Because
You gotta play along, yeah.
Time and energy, and
And more than likely, like, in those scenarios, if the church didn't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to tell you shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank period. They're going to tell you shut up. So you're not going to say shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, pastor going to be sitting there saying, like, oh, man, you're going to burn to hell. You're like, man, this is like water off a duck. I can't pay attention to that.
yeah.
Because you're not talking to me. You have to have that mentality.
It's part of the challenge.
It's part of the challenges, yeah.
Wow.
And it's like you said before, are you gonna fight this, or are you just going to be knowledgeable that this is what happens and you just ignore it and don't choose that challenge for the day?
But do you know how much mental suffering you had to go on with them to realize that I'm listening to the word because I'm trying to save my soul, but the pastor said, fuck all that. You're going to hell because you fuck men or you fuck women. And you have to, in your mind, say, I'm fighting who I am. I'm trying to get to heaven. But based on how I live my life, I'm never going to get to heaven. So how do you rationalize that as a quote unquote Christian or
I
church
will say
goer?
that there are lots of gay Christians. Take that as how you want to take it.
Yes.
You would have to find a group that sings to the tune that you dancing to.
But sometimes that tune is just like something can't apply to you. Like you really just gotta be like, look, if you sit there and believe it to a T, like man, being gay is like a bad thing, and like you're gonna be trying to revert. If you're like, man, that's just who I am, then you also know that like the Bible teaches us that the Lord loves all of his creations, quote unquote. So you should be fine because He made you this way. If that's how you like sometimes you have to find a way to rationalize it for yourself to say, yeah, He's saying all that, but when I look at the words, when I read the Bible, like I'm gonna have to find my own way around that.
Like in other words, you're gonna start picking and choosing your the Bible.
You have to.
You're gonna have to because there's no. This isn't all for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's the unfortunate part because people are now I consider this is the best time to come out, however you're transgender, gay, whatever, and have some sort of substance. Because back in the day, you can imagine people died, committed suicide, drank themselves to death, all kinds of shit because you were ostracized by the family. They would rather you be a killer than be gay.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit.
Yeah,
I'd rather be a kid.
It was still shame brought to the family, but depending on the family, yeah. Like, we just can't, we don't want to tell nobody that.
No, you mess with my
And
family.
nobody in your family name, don't nobody give a damn about you or your family. Talking about something. And people be real loud thinking like you messing up the family name. Family ain't worth shit. And talking about messing up your family name. Your family ain't got nothing, ain't been had nothing, ain't about to get nothing. And you out here trying to kick people about the damn family because of who they sleeping with. Ain't got a damn thing to do with you.
No.
And you talking about kick them out of the family. No, bring your ass home. Yeah, talking about you don't want that rubbing off on the kids. Tell your kids to mind they nosy ass damn business then. Like, stop lying to children. Just because these people gay don't mean that you gay. Like that, it's not the same. It don't rub off.
No.
It don't like sneeze.
No.
I'm gonna come to the damn family reunion and sneeze on the kids and all of a sudden your son gay.
You're making motherfuckers gay.
Yeah.
You're some of them a bitch.
You know, just like breathing gay air and then all of a sudden they rub off on the cousins and shit. No, you're not going to be kicking people out of the family because of their sexual orientation. We're done with that. That shit was dumb. People was committing suicide.
Yeah, because they realized it was a fucking plague. Like,
and then a year later, your mother on her deathbed or your father on his deathbed talking about something. I'm so sorry. Yeah, your ass is sorry now. You're dying, and I'm out here living my best gay life. And what you want me to do about it now? No. Like I said, we got ain't shit families out here trying to kick people out of the family. You got some nerve.
Right. Exactly. Girl, not to mention, you talking to the gay one, but how many fucking child molester you got in your family? You would touch every motherfucking niece and nephew and
Protecting
shit.
the pedophile.
But fuck that gay
You
shit.
said the hell with the gay.
But this pedophile motherfucker, we don't. You're gay, but I'll put pedophile, but the gay one, oh, you definitely burning him. What about that motherfucker touching kids and shit? Come on.
You know, it's time to do better.
Yeah, it's just like
it's time to do the better.
You have to.
It's time to do the better. Family needs to do a better job of taking care of family, even at a distance.
And they have to fucking talk. Here's the other thing. You gotta fucking talk about it. Stop hiding shit from people. Oh, you know, I ain't gonna say nothing about such. Motherfucker, if you said something, maybe with me as fucked up as we are. And they're mad because the younger ones said, fuck that shit. Because we're gonna talk about this bullshit. They ain't gonna let this shit go.
Oh, these young kids, they talking about everything. They ain't thinking about y'all. Because they got the Google, they got, what's that one app? Discord, is that the app? Y'all know nothing about what they talking about. Either you gonna shun them kids in their conversations, or you gonna be right there part of it, guiding it and making sure that they have the facts.
We have spent too fucking long as a people, as a society, about protecting our kids from certain things that they don't want to see. Like, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about sex.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like, why are we protecting kids from the world constantly?
We don't want to talk to them about sex.
Don't talk to them about sex.
They
don't want to talk to them about slavery.
You don't want to talk to your daughters about having sex and they're on their way to a 4-year institution. prostitute, spending a night away from home for months on end, and they don't know nothing about sex. Why would you do that?
Because some nigga named Ricky gonna tell her about sex. He's gonna feel some type of way.
Go sit in my car and I'll teach you about sex.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes. And do you understand
Like,
how pissed off they would get? I dare you to talk to my daughter about no sex. I never mentioned to her about no sex. Who gives you responsibility?
Or what's even worse though is that you gonna be mad until your daughter come home pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
she
yeah.
come home
Or
pregnant.
burning. Or burning.
Or burning.
Come on.
Yeah, that ass.
Because
Either way.
Either way. You have to talk about the real things in life. And you can't leave stuff off the table because it's uncomfortable. You know, and some of those uncomfortable conversations used to be auntie-uncle moments.
Yeah.
Right? You're not comfortable about talking to your son about this or talking to your daughter about that. Talk to your brother or sister about talking to your child about that.
I just don't understand like how you have kids
The least.
and are afraid to like talk to your kids about shit that literally can change the trajectory of their life.
No, that's a fact.
Like, how do you
That's
have
a
a
fact.
kid and are afraid to talk about sex? You have a kid, you're afraid to talk about religion. You have a kid, you're afraid to talk about black and white relations. You have a kid, you're afraid to talk. Like, you can't be afraid to talk about things as an adult to children because guess what? They don't fucking know.
Like, it's a problem with talking to your children about interracial dating.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with talking to your children about interracial dating.
Especially now where interracial couples make up a good chunk of couples nowadays.
And your ass could be miserable in a few good years because I didn't teach you that there's different cultures that you actually need to give a damn about when entertaining these different races.
Oh, yeah.
Because why are you dating a Nigerian man and you don't give a damn about the foods that they eat? He not gonna
don't understand what it means to be with a Nigerian man.
The culture behind
The
it.
culture behind it as a woman. There's things that they expect of their women.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and the men.
Exactly. And of the men. So
we can't just have our children out here green and not, because we uncomfortable, or you shouldn't talk about that. No, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, what my son said to me one day, Mom, can I be anything I want when I grow up?
No.
Excuse me? No, we're going to talk about that, you smart ass.
And what the fuck you mean anything?
You already know. You already know how children do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to talk about that. You know why? Because we can. It's just a conversation.
Because if you don't talk to your kids, somebody will talk to your kids.
No, TikTok talking to your kids.
That ass TikTok talking to your kids. If you don't talk to your kids, TikTok talking to your
You don't
kids.
follow at least 5, what are they called? 5, what are the TikTok pages?
Yeah.
At least 5 that your kids follow. You don't know what the hell your children know.
Because here's the thing, TikTok, your For You page kind of just gets constructed based on what you see, what you look at, right? I have a TikTok specifically for advertising. So I don't use it. So my TikTok is just every fucking where. But if I go to like some of my friends' TikToks, and some of my friends' TikToks are all based around like movies and anime. Some of my friends' TikToks are all based around big booty bitches.
Yep.
Some of them are built all around physical, like fitness influencers and like workouts and shit. So like depending on what you look at, that's what ends up filtering your timeline. A lot of these kids nowadays are having kids who are much older than them. 14-year-olds listening to 16-year-olds.
Yep.
You know, 16-years listening to 18-year-olds.
Yep.
Type shit. But like, none of y'all niggas know anything.
Yep.
No.
Like
it's
y'all
all
sitting
for
here.
views and to go viral.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
you make a fucking following being a 17, 18-year-old saying like, look, man, you 14, you trying to rizz up some chick, bro. Let me put you on game. First off, nigga, at 14 you ain't know shit.
Yep.
You're 18, you still don't know
You
shit.
still don't know shit. Yeah.
Right? Now you're trying to tell a 14-year-old, hey man, here's how you slide up on another 14-year-old. First off, you shouldn't even be interested. You shouldn't be trying to help a 14-year-old rizz nobody up, bro.
That is so true.
You should not be no teenager teaching a 14-year-old how to rizz nobody up, bro.
No.
At 14-year-olds old, y'all niggas should be just sitting there like, oh man, I touched an arm one time, like my dick got hard.
Right.
That's what 14-year-olds are supposed to be doing. Y'all out here giving sloppy time at 14. There's a problem. Like, what I'm saying though is like, this whole conversation is kind of showing that like, regardless of how things used to be, things are not that way.
No.
Like, things are a lot harder. Things are a lot grimier. Things are a lot less clear because kids get a lot more information now. technology has made it so that you don't gotta tell your kids shit. Somebody will tell them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
If you don't say it, they'll find somebody who says it.
Yes.
If you say, I don't want to talk about sex with my daughter, my son, fine. Bobby Joe Bob over here with 7 million followers, go tell your kids like, look, did you touch your penis on her body? Yep, you got her pregnant, man. You gotta be ready to be a father. And he can say that, knowing he's lying, knowing he's incorrect, but your kid's 14, he don't know what the fuck. He just saying like, hey man, we was at the dance, I was riding behind her, next thing I know she was pregnant. No, nigga, somebody had sex with her beforehand. And like, you run up on her and you do a goddamn thing, bro.
It's so much misinformation out on these social media platforms or just misstatements, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them just to go viral, just for the views, just because, it was provocative and it was gonna, pretty much do what it was supposed to do.
Absolutely.
And your children are just sucking that on in. And, maybe they didn't believe it the first time it showed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as they keep going onto these platforms and scrolling and keep receiving the same messages, eventually, if no one else is saying anything other than that, in the back of their head, they start to think that is true.
Because mom and daddy scared to tell me.
Oh,
Because I'm not going to learn about it. Because I tell you, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
No, that's the stupid shit you tell women. I can't tell you about sex because I tell you, you're going to want to do it.
You're
You're going to do it any fucking way. What the fuck are you talking about? Don't do it.
No, they don't tell you you're going to find out, but then you're going to find out when you got a kid.
Wow.
You're going to find out when that girl's pregnant or when you're pregnant.
Oh, you catch
or you get right. Or you also you wake up, you
itch. It is always itching and burning.
It's on burning.
Yeah.
Like,
or you have herpes in your fucking mouth because now I didn't think you could suck.
She said it was cold sores. No, nigga.
No, it's a herpes, bitch. Yeah, you got it.
We're gonna run with it, nigga. You burnt. That's what that means.
That's what it means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fucked up. And now then you mad at the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be mad at the fucking kid. Be mad at yourself because you don't want to parent. You know the shit was easy. You thought I can just blow shit off. Like the other
It is easy to have these conversations. Damn that. We had these on the ride home from school. Make it real awkward and real quick. Most of these is 5 to 7 minute conversations.
Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, like, you as the adult, you control the conversation.
Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
do.
Like, if you realize, like, your threshold of awkward as you get older, it gets larger. Like, shit has to really be OD for me to feel like, damn, this is actually kind of fucked up. I need to remove myself. Like, I don't want to be a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Things have to really have gone sideways.
Yep.
But at 14, I could literally just have walked past this girl, and now that we're all developing and shit, I walk past her and brush my arm against a titty.
Mm-hmm.
Now my whole day shot. My whole day shot. My whole fucking day gone out the window. Now I'm sitting like, man, bro, such his titty. Like, no, that was crazy. Type shit. I didn't know they was out here like that, bro. It was all soft and shit. Like, nigga, I hope she not feeling some type of way about it. It wasn't even intentional what I'm talking about. But God, that was felt great. But like, now your whole day shot at 14 years old. We brush a titty.
Yeah.
So, what do you think your 14-year-old is going to do if, like, y'all really want to have a sex conversation? Like, if they're old enough and they are able to take in the information, then it's not an awkward conversation. But if your kid's not ready for sex, guess what? We say, so look, what you're going to do is, like, when you meet a lady, son, you are going to talk or whatever, and then at one point you're going to need to pull your penis. Like, you know that thing you pee with? Yeah. You're going to stick it inside of her. Huh? Yeah. So what you're going to do is then you're going to go crazy. You're going to go in and out as fast as you possibly can. It's going to feel real good. At that point, you're going to be like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can make it just as quickly and awkward for your kid, but still give them the information.
Yeah.
And they're going to meet, if they're not ready, they're going to blow up the conversation anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, in other words, the conversation is going to go from 5 to 7 minutes to 1 to 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird for them because they're like, wow, I don't really want to, like, that's too, I don't want to know all that. Because they're not ready. But guess what? The kid that is ready, he's going to ask follow-up questions. And now you're like, this nigga actually serious about it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now you approach the conversation differently. Because now you're like, oh, no, you really want to be about this life. Mm-hmm. All right, so let me just give you all the information.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got to make an intelligent choice.
That is true. And then think about it. You probably have to have that conversation with your girls before you have with your boys. Because girls...
It's always a conversation. Mm-hmm. You know, when we say you start as early as, 5 and 7.
Because you do have that
Yeah,
Inappropriate
special
touch,
touch. Yeah, inappropriate touches. Yeah, you ain't sitting on nobody's lap type of
No,
stuff.
no.
Yeah, like you building up to the ages.
Yeah,
And the
and you add in
conversation's
information.
changing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
but
subtract
those
information.
conversations, they are so short and so sweet,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
it's only as they get older where they're in need of more information and a little bit more information, and you're relating back to the information I gave you before.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I told you this, and then you add on just a little bit more. So it shouldn't be something that you feel like a rock is sitting on you type of thing, and I can't do it. Yeah, open up your damn mouth, right, and talk to your kid for 60 seconds about what's going on out there in the world, because it's more than just sex, right? I even talked to my son about how the other kids around him are reacting, because you may have not been sexually touched or inappropriately touched, but the children around you can also go through things and be inappropriately touched too. So pay attention, if someone needs help or looks like they're, not their normal self, at least let us know. Let's have a conversation.
Yes, because for a fact that happens.
Yeah, because the children, your peers would be able to notice and call things out there, I think, before we as parents, especially working class parents.
As adults, like I guess we all agree on the sentence. I don't pay attention to what children do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't concern me. So if I'm going through my everyday and I'm like, oh man, like kids are gonna be frustrated, fighting, whatever, I'm not gonna pay no mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, like these are your niggas. Like you see these people every day.
They're
Like, you hang around. Those people that you're supposed to be cool with, like those supposed to be people you want to see survive and like thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So you recognize that, like, damn, this girl was cool, and then all of a sudden one day she came in, now she's like in baggy hoodies and no one talks to her about it, and it's very standoffish. And like she was really cool with everybody, and then we had this party. Next thing you know, like she disappeared for a few days, and then she came back.
Yeah.
Now she's really standoffish, or like he was really cool with people, and then next thing you know, like he got really aggressive out of nowhere, and all of a sudden started being kind of like nonchalant about everything, and then now you see, and now that's because at that same age, 14, 15, 16, now guess what? Not only is there sex, but now there's drugs.
Yeah, alcohol.
Now there's you develop, right, as a woman. So now you start to become jaded to the world, because now you start to see that, like, as a woman you start developing. Now you got niggas who your age, no cap, saying like, "Hey, girl, you look good."
She's pretty. She's growing up.
You're still growing up with her.
He's going up big.
Hey, first of all, they be on.
Yes,
on the demon time, off rip. And so you get scared as a woman. You're like, "Damn!" Like these things.
So you just needed to know how to manage that.
Exactly.
What that means? What happens? You have someone that has never talked to you how to manage that.
That's right. Then you feel crazy. You feel like, oh my goodness, I'm in a snake pit. I'm a mouse in a snake pit. As opposed to you walking around, as a lady. Like, no, first of all, rule number one, I ain't moving by my damn self. Like, I'm a lady.
Yes.
I have no business being out here in the world by myself. Like, no, because, I see how the men looking at me, looking crazy like I'm a meal. Move with your numbers.
And think of this. Think of a young lady who never had anybody guide her,
Mm-hmm.
never had love. Parents never showed her love, never did anything for her, to her, whatever.
Yep.
And now she's developing.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's starting to get the attention that she never got growing up
Yep.
for anything.
Yep.
Unless she fucks up mom, then they'll yell at her. So now she's going to take that attention as they want me. Or I have a look that's I'm giving that attention to other people. And I'm getting that attention I never got before.
Mm-hmm.
Now you open her up to, if they give me a little love, maybe I need to give them a little love.
Mm-hmm.
That's how these young girls end up in a situation where they get hooked on somebody, or get hooked up and get pregnant, or get in a situation
In
they
other
can't
words,
get out of.
that's the young girls getting hooked up too early in life, and then you get attached to something that, technically would have been worth your while.
Mm-hmm.
But because you didn't know any better, because your foundation wasn't, built up strong, you couldn't pretty much move and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like you said, you got tied down.
And now you end up in this situation. Now the same parent that didn't do shit for you. How do you get in this situation?
Yeah, I got
chastise the fuck out of them.
because ain't nobody guiding me and teach me what was I then supposed to be doing and choosing. Yeah, and then you also, a lot of times within our community, you're anti the children dating.
Yeah.
You don't want, like, what you mean you ain't gonna drop your kids off at Fridays? They going on a date. They gonna sit at that dang table at the Fridays for 2 hours. They gonna order some appetizers, some little Shirley Temple, some little slab of ribs, and then we gonna come pick them up. Yes. Yes, they gonna mix and mingle.
See, and that's why when that doesn't happen, you end up with awkward young adults.
Yep. Boys who are too attached at too young age. So he's 18 and now he can finally go and date, and the first girl that he dates or touches or hooks up to, now he's obsessed. Right? Like, no, I need her. Bring her back. Kids, never touch no one else.
Yes.
Yeah, and the same thing with the female. You know, you need to allow your children to experience life just a little bit while you still can guide them through it, because by the time they turn 18, 19, and they become into that young adult, time, it's no longer the time to, groom them the way you were supposed to when they were 12.
You're right. You're fucking right. Because people kill me with, oh my God, you get to 18, 19, I'm going to raise you. Motherfucker, you had from 0 to 17 to raise that kid.
Yeah.
Now, because they're not doing what you thought they should have done, by the way, you weren't fucking there from 0 to 17. You was working and doing everything else, and letting the TV raise them and everybody else raise them. Now you want to put your 2 cents in it. You need to be better. You need to be this. Motherfucker, you should have done that before. And
it's not even that the kid needs to be better. It's now that you realize that you need to be better. That's why you're saying you need to interject yourself now into what this child is doing, because you didn't do so beforehand.
No, you didn't. So it's like, now you chastise the kid because you failed to do your job as a parent. Because, you thought, like, I put roof on their head, food in their mouth, they're good. No, motherfucker, it's more than that. There's a conversation you have to have with them constantly. It doesn't happen, like, every other week or every other year. It happens constantly. When me and my son was in the car, we had conversations every fucking day about everything. And whatever we want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. Sometimes I'm like, God damn, we talked about it before. Then you're like, no, there's a little twist to it. But you have to listen. You can't just blow it off all this running mouth. They will tell you some shit.
Oh, God. They're going to reveal. As children talk, they can't help but to reveal. But remember, that's what the dining room table was for. Remember people
you mean the table talk we used to have at, at dinner?
Breakfast,
at dinner you had that conversation. What was you there about? We always had that. It wasn't like, oh, you downstairs eating and we up in the car eating, we outside eating. We all eat together because I want to hear what's going on for the day. Because me and your mama need to have a little tete-a-tete, like what's going on. So maybe I missed something. And then she'll come back and
it's a place for everybody to decompress. And
it's a place for your kid to be honest. Like, we as people lie on a daily basis, almost all day. In some shit.
some way.
In some shape or form. So there's gotta be at least one point in your day where you can sit down and be honest. Like, you know what? Today was a fucked up day.
Yeah.
I had a shit day. And I hated every last thing of it. You should let your kids come home and say the same shit. Just like you have a fucked up day at work, they have fucked up days at school. Nothing goes right. They go to ask to go to the dance. Girl says no. They whole fucking day shot. They whole day shot. So when you see a little nigga come home, you should be like, hey, bro, you good? Yeah, Dad. Yeah, Mom, fine. And then the spot that you're like, oh, like, you got your heart hurt. Feel bad knowing it. Shit suck. Let me help you out. First thing you do is listen to some music. Put you on game. Listen to this first. like sometimes you gotta get a once to be like, hey, look, let me show you healthy ways of dealing with this shit.
But some of that shit don't work. I remember one day, I'm so disrespectful. Came in my room one day, Angie Stone. My sunshine will come. Y'all remember that song, right?
Yeah.
She said to me, I noticed you had broke up with that guy. I'm not gonna mention his name, but she said, I noticed you had broke up with such and such. I just want to let you know, your sunshine will come. I will never forget that. I was just like, wow. And we told mommy, me and this guy broke up again. Like, who keeps snitching out on me?
But she was right.
Nah, but for real. And
there is.
In that moment, because I was like, what? First of all, we did just break up.
Right, so you're not going to tell me what better days to come. I'm hurt right now. What about my hurt? Let's talk about it. But as an adult, you recognize that. Like,
there was the fact that I didn't even have to mention it.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't even have to mention it, and probably the music that I was playing, she was like, "Nah, that's not the music that gets you."
Nah, because you don't get your feelings
with
in that
that
one.
Eve. I said, "No, we gonna turn on Eve's first album, yes, and do some Rough Rider issues." She was like, "Nah, y'all gotta slow this down. This Angie Stone time." So parents do. That is your job. It's to read the room. It's to give small, subtle suggestions, whether it be a good song, whether it be a bowl of ice cream, to engage in conversation with. Something other than nothing. Whether it be, hey, come jump on this game with me, son. Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because how simple, because I can't tell you how many times conversations could start, even with my friends now, whereas, like, man, you had shit day, like you could just tell people, like, have had miserable days or just the way they act or whatever. And you hop on a game, you're like, bro, let's hop on such and such.
Yeah.
And y'all hop on such and such for a little bit, you play, you're like, so what's going on, bro?
Yep, gave you some time to decompress.
Yeah.
And now you're ready to open up. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're like, man, I just had a shit day, then like, all right, cool. Well, you know, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you leave it alone, obviously as a friend. But like as a parent, like the same energy applies to me. That should be your first action. Like, my kid feel fucked up. You straight? Nah, I'm not straight. All right, so here's what I can do. Like, this is what I know.
Let's go do something.
Whatever. Like, let's go see a movie you're trying to see. Let's do whatever. But just be a fucking support to your children.
And but let it be true to who you are also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't be like, oh, let's go to the gun range. You ain't never shot a day in your life to go blow. So what are you doing, sir? You can't just go make some shit up. That's why I decided to go to football around and you're not athletic. No.
I'm gonna have a heart attack out there, bitch.
Yes.
Yep. No.
Yes, make it be genuine.
Yes.
Don't stop playing Call of Duty just because your son came through the door and you don't play this game. Man, what are you doing?
No.
The kid's gonna be irritated.
What the fuck are you doing, Dad? You know what's going on?
Yeah. But if you used to have a mitt and you used to throw the ball around with your dad, pick that up. Yeah, it might be, and he might fight you a little bit off of it. But just like how I fought my mother off that song. Right, but I'd be damned if I don't love some Angie Stone. Right?
Exactly.
That relate to you as parents, it's okay to push them off on your children and they also be rejected from your children, right?
Yeah.
But we still received it. Because it's that thing that you're going to constantly, here he go with that damn mitt in this ball. But more than you using that to talk to him, you're also showing him a tool to talk to his child, right?
And you're also showing people how to cope. The hardest part about being young is coping.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know coping skills. So you just do what you can.
We're not taught coping skills.
Exactly.
We're not taught about how to navigate emotions or relations. And the only place we go to learn stuff is in schools now. We don't even do Sunday school, it seems like. It's really good stuff. Like, we only got one piece of school nowadays, and that's just regular school.
And regular school don't have the bandwidth in a lot of scenarios to help you navigate through those little nuances.
Absolutely.
And teachers, it's not their job to be out here raising your kids. That's you. If your kid ain't got no big brother, big sister they can lean on, then that means they leaning on you.
Absolutely, and it's okay. That's okay.
And that should be fine.
Because that biggest brother or the biggest sister in that house gotta lean on you.
Got to.
Yeah.
Have to.
So it's fine. Play your position and play it well. See, you upset at the end towards the end of the road when you didn't play your position well and all the cards come down. Like, this is not the house I thought I built. We know you didn't actually build a damn thing.
No, T, and what you said is so true. Literally, I can go back and look at when we first had our son and people who had kids around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that maybe we were different. Like, oh, well, we're all the same. Everybody's raising a kid the same way. Well, all you got to do is you sit back and look at from 0 to in your 20s. And I can tell you, based on, and we thought we weren't doing no different than anybody else. Everybody was doing the same thing. It was obviously we were a lot different. That we were at a different level than they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked myself, like, did we do anything different than anybody else? And my wife said, yeah. We made sure that we were always there for our kid.
Yeah.
We always made sure that one of us or both of us was there to make sure.
That would make it a good point to shut the fuck up and listen.
Yep.
Like as a kid, like I can tell you that because I would see that would be a lot of people's issues. Like nobody listens to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's your problem. You don't have nobody who wants to sit down and just take it, like good or bad. they tell you like, oh, you say something like, man, I fucking hate this teacher, bro. If I ever saw her ass outside, bro, I'll smack the shit out of her. No, don't say that. You can't smack teacher. Like, yeah, you can't smack teachers, but you can take care. Like, look, I feel that. You know you can't smack nobody because that's a whole court case in jail and shit. But I feel that. I feel that on a spiritual level. Like, yeah, I get tired of my balls sometimes. I'll smack shit. Like, that immediate relation means that you're not negating how I feel about the scenario. You're just saying as an adult, like, look, I feel that. You can't do it. There's a whole bunch of logistics that come with that. But I feel that sentiment. So now let's talk about it. Let's engage in the actual adult dialogue.
That's a level of care, right? I felt that my parents cared about me because they were willing to listen to me. Or I didn't feel like my parents cared about me because they never listened to me. Right? Like, that's a level of care. So if your children feel like you're not listening, they also probably feel like you're not caring. And it might be because you're not. And you may be providing and protecting.
But if you don't show that you care, then you also, that comes out in other ways. I had a friend of mine, he used to, one time I was at his house, he got green light by his mom, like, hey, if you bought this home, like, would that be cool? Like, this kind of, these types of scores and shit. I was like, honestly, not for my house. I said, but my standards are different. And she's like, yeah, like, see, that's why, like, I don't understand why you're doing, and she was using me to cuss her own child out. But I'm like, miss, what you fail to realize is something I said. My standards are different. What's allowed in my household is different. So I carry myself different. I'm here.
And I'm built up differently.
And I'm built up differently.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing is allowing your child to think that bringing the shit at home is alright.
Yep.
Or that
whatever you're not
doing. Exactly.
Right?
It's saying your kid's like, man, fuck them. I'm gonna just do whatever the hell I want.
You're not following up to make sure that they turned in the assignments that they did. You're not communicating with
or
the
you
teacher.
only care when they do bad.
Yeah.
The only time I ever hear anything from you is when I have bad grades.
Yep.
But if I was like, oh, I'm gonna go out this weekend, you don't give a fuck.
Yep.
If I told you I'm gonna be home tonight, at such and such, there's no dinner made.
Yep.
I got $20 on the fucking kitchen counter with a note saying we're gonna be out tonight, go order yourself some food. You do that shit enough, which your kid says that they don't give a fuck about me. So guess what happens? Then they don't give a fuck about nothing else. Yo only cared about music. He didn't care about acting. He didn't care about acting school. He didn't care about math. He didn't care about none of that shit.
Because he didn't have to.
Because he didn't have to. What would happen is then you get home and get cussed out for your grades. So I'm like, but y'all didn't even show up to no games. Y'all haven't. Like, anytime I ever hear y'all talk to this man, it's complaining about something he's doing. And even if you ever give him praise, like, do you ever say, like, hey, what a good job you did on this thing? No. I got praise when I went home. I got my pats on the back so I did well. But I also got my ass kicked so I did poorly. So I knew, like, okay, if I'm trying to just live my life and not be bothered, then the base level I can do is this in school.
But see, that is also teaching your child the world.
Yeah.
Right? Correcting them when they do something that is poor, right? And building them up and praising them when they do something that is proper. And if you're not receiving that, you're not teaching your child to go out into the world and be able to perceive the world for what it really is, because the world is going to stomp on you when you're doing poorly.
Absolutely. And it is relentless.
Yeah.
It is unrelentless. I mean, it's constant because that's what life is. Life isn't easy. You know, everybody goes, oh, I can't believe I'm here. Motherfucker, life is not easy for anybody.
Nope.
Life is what it is. And life is what you choose it to be. Because again, you can sit back and complain about all the other shit that's going on and that's what you can't do anything. Or you can say, you know what? I knew it was going to be fucked up. So I'm going to do different. I'm going to be different. I'm going to walk a different walk to get to where I need to get to. So that means you have to have that intestinal fortitude to say, fuck this, I'm going to do better, I'm going to be better, and do it.
You got to choose the better.
You have to choose the better. And you know, people, parents, you have to listen to your kids. You can't just feed them. You can't just put a roof over their head.
Can't just talk to them.
No, you have to fucking listen to them.
Yep.
Because they say a lot of things. And I'm going to say this to you. And I hope this is not a cautionary tale. The moment your kid does not come back to you, the moment your kid tunes you out, the moment you like, I don't know what the hell's going on with my kid, you fucking lost them. And you never gonna get them back because let me tell you what they're thinking. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here because then I'm gonna really deal with you. There's kids that will go to college that will never come back. There's kids that go to the military that will never come back. There's kids who just fucking leave and never come back. And then you're going to blame them. But if you really look at yourself, it's you. You're the reason why they walked away and never came back and never want to talk to you. And then when they do come back and want to tell you the truth, now it's like, oh, well, now that can't be true. No, it's their truth because you refuse to be the parent. So again, whether your kid is a normal kid or a kid who's transgender or feeling certain ways or just a kid who's gay, listen to them. Because the world does not give a fuck about your kids. I'm going to say it again. The world, society don't give a fuck about your kids. You have to be the person that gets them ready for this society in which they have to struggle and succeed. So if you don't do that, you're going to set up another person out here in this world for failure. And we got enough of it. So with that, we're going to end today's episode on the Michael DM.
Fancy.
People, you know what you got to do. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell so you get all the new episodes. And we'll be back very soon with another episode. Peace and blessings.